Hey, hello all. Is my voice is audible for all?
Hello all.
Yeah.
My voice.
Okay. So we wait for 1 minute and we can start our section. Okay, just for 1 minute. Okay. So today what we're going to see means we're just going to create a movie app. Okay. So yeah, popular movie showing app. That is what we're going to see today. Okay, it's going to be an interesting one because we're going to cover an API pods and all. We're going to see about what is API and all. As a beginner, thinking about APIs, it's been a little bit messy. Okay, but you can able to understand. Promise as a promise from my side that APIs and working within API is a such good thing. Okay, so it is a lifesaver. Like API is like a lifesaver where we can use more. Okay, so we're going to work with a movie API and we're going to display an app. Okay, so that is what we're going to do now. Okay, and also we just if you are in the live, you just give a comment. Okay, so I'm present like that, anything. Okay, so tell your name and give a hi message for all, and we can go and continue our live section with 8:32. Okay, sharply at 8:32 we will continue our section. Okay. Yeah. So yesterday what we did means we just created an drinking, like water drinking tracker, right? So that is what we discussed, and I hope that you know what the error we are faced through, right? So we faced one of the error. We faced one of the error. That error, I say that only one error is there, and right, that time convenience we are not able to debug that, right? So I will tell you that error, what actually the mistake we have done in that project. So actually we don't do actually we don't make any mistakes. Okay, so I check all the mathematical calculations and I just check all the works and I just looking into it. There is no error at all. There is not even a single line of error is not happened. So then where the error comes, right? For example, we can go. Okay, so we can go with, I think people will join soon. Okay, so yesterday where that error happens means, like for example, we don't make any logical mistake. So every code we returned is perfect. Okay, so even I checked it all and I look into it, there is no error in that. Okay, so let I share my screen, then you can see where we make a mistake like that. Okay, so I think now my screen is available, right? So is my screen is visible? Just give a comment in the live chat. Okay, so yesterday we created a drinking project, right? So just this is what we created, right? So drinking app. So a drinking track, water drinking app is what we created, and I just go and open with the live server. Okay, so what is the error we actually face means, if I click this it will be work fine, and if I go and click this, it takes 50% and it takes like it shows the remaining and everything will be perfect. And if I click this is also perfect, but when I'm clicking this, you can see instead of it want to show like nothing is remaining, it need to disappear. That is the logic we have did, right? But instead of this it shows some remaining, right? So that is what we have confused, like something, what happened to the code like that, right? So actually what we did means, I checked all the logical codes. Like for example, I go and check all the mathematical calculations. I check all everything. Actually, there is no problem with our code. Okay. So then where is the error came from means, here you can notice this four variables, right? So what we do in the previous class, so we just do copy and paste, right? So because I want to fetch every time get element by ID, get element by ID. So what I did, I just copy and paste it and copy and paste it. Okay. So usually it happens when we copy and paste the code means, then we forgot to change the elements. For example, here you can notice that percentage is here, and it is also percentage is, we fetched that percentage ID, right? So here we remind is mentioned, but here you can see we again fetch the percentage ID itself, right? So same ID I fetched for two times. Okay, so this is the actual error. Okay, so this is actual error. For example, if you go for HTML, instead of fetching this div, I am fetching only this div for two times. Okay, so that is the problem happens. That is the actually problem happens, comes here. because we don't fetch this remaining div. Instead we fetch this. Okay, so that is the error happened. So what we can do, we just copy this remind and we can paste it here. Now it will be fine. Okay, so if I paste it here means now the code is fine. You can go and check the code. Now I just click all the selected tag. You can see remaining is nothing. If I say like this show like this, you can see now it is working perfect. There is no logical mistake we have done. There is no code errors we have done. So the only mistake we have done is when we copy something, right? When we copy and paste the code, then what happens? I forgot to fetch that particular element what we need. Instead of fetching remind div, what I do, I just fetched only the percentage div for 2 times, and I stored it in 2 different variables. That is why yesterday an error happens. Okay, so that is also facing only at the last level. So if we fetch correct element, then it's going to be fine. Okay, so that is the error we gone through. Okay, so actually this is not an error, this is like it is not a logical mistake actually. Okay, so we written all our code correctly. The only thing is we don't have like a right mindset, and we are in live, right? So we are not able to, I'm in the hurry to code all the things. Then what happened, I'm not able to think like what I did, right? So that is what happened. Okay, so just you need to change if you fetch the correct id means it will be work perfect, and all other code is going to be work perfect. We done a good code. Okay, that's it. So today what we're going to do, we just going to create a movie app. Okay, I just go and display it and open with the live server. You can see this is the movie app we're going to develop today. Okay, so here you can see what I have done. I created a nav bar and I have a search icon here, and I whatever we search here, it's going to be display in here. Okay, so I created 3 dummy movies. Okay, so like what are the elements here, an image is here, and if I hover over it, you can see like an overview is going to display, and a title of the image is going to be there, and rating of this image is going to be there. Okay, so totally these things is going to be happen. So now what I going to use means I going to use an movie API. Okay, so by using what are the logic, I'm speaking about the logic. Okay, so first logic what we need to do means we need a set of data that contains all the movie. Okay, so because I just going to display all the movies. Okay, so we need a data, like huge data we needed. So where I can get from it, so we can get from an API. So what is an API? How many of you know what is API? Can you, if you know API, what is API means, just give a chat. If you know what is API, then you give the definition in the chat. Okay, as soon as possible. Okay, so API is called as application programming interface. So what it does, means it is a set of code that we can able to use that set of code in our website. Okay, we can able to use that. Okay, so that particular API is nothing but we can use it in another websites and all. Okay, so that is actually API. So a particular code that is going to be used in the another websites or another development field. Yes, application programming interface. Okay, so it is a expand form of that, so we can use that. So API is nothing but it is a set of code that we it is going to be a lifesaver for all the developers. Because for example, I'm saying if you want to create an food delivering app like Swiggy, Zomato, Uber, or Eat Meat, like so much of things is that, right? You need to create a food delivering app. Then what you need a particular thing is a tracking device, right? A satellite tracking. Google Map is incorporated in each and every application, right? So think about that. For creating a Google Map, it is not that much easy. Okay, because we need a huge set of data, because it's going to have the entire information, entire location of the world, right? So it needs a huge set of data. So a company like Google can make it, but a startup company, how can we add a tracking for that? We are not able to send a satellite and we can collect all the data, and after that we are not able to create that maps and all, right? So what these companies do, what this Zomato, what this Swiggy do means, they go and buy APIs from Google. Okay, so Google sell their APIs. For example, if I want Google Maps, what I can go, I can approach for the Google, and I can get the Google Maps API. Okay, so they give for some paid, some of the APIs are free, some of the APIs are paid is there. Okay, so Google Maps is obviously going to be paid one, and they sell their Google Maps code. Okay, so what we can able to do means we can access that entire information, entire data in a single link, and we can use that link and we can develop it. Okay, so what happens actually, so it saves the time, right? It saves time. We don't want to build everything from scratch. Okay, so already built in code is there, and we can use that code, and we can modify to our website. Okay, so that is what I going to do now. What I going to do, we going to search for a movie API, and we going to use that movie API. So that movie API contains all the information about the popularly published movies. Okay, it contains all the data. For example, it contains the image of the movie, it contains the casting of the movie, it contains the title of the movie, rating of that movie, a review of the movie. Everything is going to be there. Okay, so it is a huge data. It is operated by some of the companies. Okay, what I going to do, I just going to fetch that information by using that API, and I going to use it for my website, my movie website. Okay, so that is what we're going to do now. Okay, so before that, so first logic is we need to get an API, and we need to use that API to show it in our user interface. Okay, so that is the first logic. And the second logic is, here you can see, if I rated for 9.0, okay, so if a movie is rated above 8, then what would happen, it need to show in a green color. So which means it is a good movie. Okay, so it get a good attention from the audience. Okay, so it is a good movie. And if it is less than 8 and greater than 5, then what this movie color, you can see orange is there, right? So it need to show a different color. It is like an average movie, a good film, not a flop film, a good film. And if a movie is flop, it is not a blockbuster, or it is not an average film, if it is a flop film, because it get only the stars below 5. Okay, so then it's going to show it in the red color. Okay, so this is the second logic we're going to fill. Okay, the first logic is we need to fetch the information from the API, and we need to show it in our website. And second logic is we need to change the color for the voting of the audience. Okay, this is going to be the second logic. And what is the third logic is going to be that third logic is whatever I'm searching here. For example, I'm searching for a movie Avengers. Okay, so it need to show the results of this movie. Okay, instead of showing randomly, whatever I'm searching here, it need to show the particular keyword search it need to give. Okay, so that is what we going to do. These three logics we going to do that. Okay, so for that, what I did, I just go and show my code. Okay, so here we come. So we have an index.html is there, and CSS is there. Okay, you can see a title is going to be the movie app, and we can have a header, and that header contains a form ID, and this is nothing but this is, you can see, right? So this is the header part, and this is going to be the form part, and inside the form only this input tag is there. Okay, so that's it. And I created another div that is going to be a main. Okay, so the main part, and inside that main there is a div called class is there, and inside that classes you can see all these are written. Like for example, an image is there, and title is there, and we have the span element. That span contains the rating of the movie, and we have the class of overview that is responsible for this hover effect. You can see here a hover effect is there. It is going to give the description about the movie. Okay, so this is going to be there, and I copy the same code for 3 times. Okay, that is why it produces some of them like this. Okay, so this is actually this is actually I put. Okay, and in CSS, look into the CSS mean, you can find, like, look into the CSS, we can created the design alignment, a background color we changed, and then like something like we created a navbar, and everything is been done. And the thing here you need to notice this, here you can see we create a hover effect, right? So this hover effect is responsible for the hovering, and you can see a color change, green, orange and red. This is a logic I said, right? So this logic is come from here. If the movie info span dot is orange, which means whether what is this? This is not whether the index.html, it is small cups. Okay, index.html contains the class. Here you can see it contains the class of red, then it's going to display it in a red. If it contains the class of orange, then it's going to display it in the orange. Then if it contains the class of green, then it's going to display it in the green. Okay, so likewise we coded. That is why the CSS is different. You can see for orange the color is going to be orange, for red the color is going to be red, and for green the color is going to be green. So when it would come green, when the movie rating is over than 8. Okay, so and orange is for more than 5, right? The movie rating is greater than 5, we need to come. And for red it's less than 5, it will be give for the red. Okay, so that is why we have created. Okay, so now first what we going to do, we just going to fetch an API and we going to work with that. So I already said that API is nothing but it is an application programming interface where an already pre-built code is there, and we can use that code to build our own website. Okay, so if you just go for Google and I say API like this, okay, API like this, you can see API stands for application programming interface. It is a context of APIs. The word application interface refers to any software with a distinct function. Leave that. Interference can be thought of as the contract of the service between two applications. Leave that. The contracts defines how to communicates with each other. Okay, for example, API is one application and this movie app is going to be another application. Now what I going to do, I just going to use that code and I going to build my own application. Okay, so that is called as API. So the main word is here, you can see two application service, a contract of service between two application. This API is going to provide that feature. Okay, so we need a movie API, right? So where we can get that, you can go for like the movie.db.org. Okay, there are several API available. You want, like, for example, everything is API. For example, you want the Google search, you can go use for Google search API. Twitter API is there, Facebook API is there, WhatsApp API is there, Google Map, everything. Literally everything is an API. Okay, so I found for movies, so there is an movie, the moviedb.org is a website. Okay, where you can find the API for movies. Okay, so this is a company that providing us API, like how the Google is providing Google Map API, same like this is the company that's providing us the API. Okay, so API for us. For getting this API, what you need to do? For getting this API, first you need to sign in. Okay, so I just already sign in. If you want an API, what you need to do? You need to sign in the page. Okay, so first you just go and sign in the page. There is no problem. You don't get any worries. Okay, so after that, here you can see more, right? So something like more is there, and you just come down. There is an API section is there. Okay, so this API is for the developers, where we developer and we can use this API. So API is nothing but a data. Okay, so all the data that it contains, and we can use that code in our website. Okay, so this is actually going to be there. For using that API, what I want to do means you need to get an access from the owner. For example, if you want to use the Google Map API, you need to get an access from the company Google. Okay, so for that you need to give certain information, and they will provide you some of the some of the keys. Okay, so by using that key only, you can able to access that API. For example, how can I get the key, API key here? What you need to do, first you need to sign in. After that, you just go for more and click the API, and here you can see API overview is there. After that, what you need to do here, developers dot the movie db.org is there. If you want to read every document, you can read that. Okay, just click that and it will load, and after that you can see, like, okay, after that you can see, to register for an API key, click the API link from without any account setting page and several blah blah things. Okay, so what does this means? I say that for accessing that API, for accessing that code, what we need, we want a key, right? So for getting this key, you need to click this API.link. If you click this means I already registered. Okay, if you click for new, okay, if you are a new person, you are going to right now only sign up, then it asks for certain information, like for example your username, email id, password, and pin code, address, something like it asks for some of the general information, because it need to know to whom we are giving this data and all. Okay, so they ask for some several data, and you click the save. If after you clicking the save, you can see the three things like API key, v3 auth. So this is going to be very important. This is the key that produced from that is going to give access for this API data. Okay, so this key is going to be very important for us. And also to produce example, how to produce an API request. For example, here you can see, if you just copy it and if you paste it, means it produce an API request. For example, if I copy this and I just paste it here and I just click enter, here you can see this is the data, this is the code is hidden inside that API. You can see that. So right now you are not able to understand this because this is in a JSON format. It look like this. Okay, this is like how to access token. Right now we read access token. Right now we don't want that. Okay, so what we need means we need this key. Once this key is ready, you can able to go for further. Okay, so right now we need to work with, after getting this key, we need to work with the logic. So first logic, what I say, what is the first logic I just mentioned? The first logic is we need to show all the data here, right? So for that, what you need to do, you need to access, first of all, you need to access all the data from the API key. So for accessing that, what you need to do, here you can see an API overview is there, right? So below that, discover example. If you click this, means here you can see how can you use that API. Here you say, if you want what all are the movies in theater right now, what all are the movies in theater, you can use this URL path. If you use this URL path with your API key, then what would happen? This what are the data inside this URL will be displayed. Okay, and here you can see what are the most popular movies, and if you use this path, means what would happen? The most popular movies is going to be displayed. What we going to do, we just going to use this data. Okay, so we're going to use this path, and we're going to fetch all the popular movies in the industry. That is what we're going to do. So for that, what you need to do, you need to call the API. For example, they give an example, right? How to call an API request. Here you can see http.api.org. is there, right? So just copy this, and after that, just a minute, and after that, just copy and create a variable, like anything, whatever the name you want, you can create a variable. And I create a variable API underscore URL. Okay, so it is good to have with some underscores. Okay, working with APIs, working with URL, u and underscore, it will be differentiate from other variables. Okay, after doing this, what you need to do, give a slash, and I say, if you what type of data you want. I want the most popular movies. So what you need to do, you just copy this and paste after this. Okay, after this, like this. Okay, like this, you want to paste this. Here you can see I paste http.api.thismovie.org and 3/3 is nothing but the version of this API. So it is the third version I'm using. And after slash, you need to give this URL, like discover movie sorted by popularity dot description. So sorted by popularity description, and after that, you need to give an ampersand sign, and you need to give the API key. You need to say API underscore key, and you need to give the API key what you have fetched. Okay, so an API key is given to you. Okay, like you can see this is the API key. So you need to put after it. Okay, if you read the document also, you can find a clear cut document will be provided in that. But if you want to fetch something, just follow this. Just give a http api.thismovie.org and just give a slash, and it's going to be 3 is going to be the version of it, and which type of data I want. For that, I use discover movie list started by the popularity dot description, and I need to give the access key. So API key is equal to access key, and that's it, finish. Okay, so that is what actually first we needed. Okay, so that is what actually first we needed. And after that, what we need to go, we're going to fetch all the information from the API URL. How can I fetch that information? I just going to use the fetch method in JavaScript. Okay, so that is what I going to use, and I just explain what is image path and what is search API too. Okay, so right now I explain what is image path. So image parse is nothing but before that we fetch the data, then only you can understand that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I just going to say async. Why I'm using async? Because I go and work with the API. So this has more number of data, so I need to wait and proceed the further functions, right? So I need to work with the asynchronous function like callback function. So that is why I'm using async and await. Okay, so I just going to say async, and that is going to be creating a function, and I say get movies, and a URL is going to be passed, and this URL, this is a parameter, and I'm going to pass this URL inside this. Okay, so after that what you need to do, you need to fetch the information from this URL. So for fetching that information, what you need to do, I just create another variable, response equal to response equal to, I just go and say await. Okay, so because this function need to wait, because I need to load. First of all, I need to fetch all the information. So what I'm going to do, await fetch, await.fetch fetch method, and inside this I just go and paste the URL. And after fetching this URL, what it do, it returns, so not dot, sorry, fetch URL. After this fetching URL, what this going to happen, it's going to return a promise, right? So I just want to parse the promises. So I just going to say data equal to await. Okay, await, and I just going to say res is has the promises. Okay, fetch is going to fetch all the data in that URL, particular URL, and it stored all the information in a res, and this promises is going to be parsed by a method called JSON. Okay, so this is going to parse that URL, and it stored it in the data. Okay, so after doing this, I just want to show the result in my console. Okay, console.log, and I just going to say like what is the result I want to show. The result is data, right? So I just going to say data. That's it. And I need to call this function, and I need to pass the URL. Okay, so how can I do that? I just go and say get and movies, and here what is the URL we are storing? The URL you store is API URL. I just go and paste it here. Okay, so now I call the function, and this function is going to use this. This is the argument, and this is going to be passed inside this, and after that it wait for the all the data to fetch, and it is stored in a variable called response, and in that response is a promises. The fetch method is going to return a promises, and this response is take care of the promises, and it is passed down. Okay, passed down to accessing it is given access variable. Okay, so that is what going to happen. So after doing this, I just go and click this inspect, go for my console. Okay, so here you can see, and that after that the data is displayed in the console with an object. So inside this object, here you can see page 1 is displayed here, and the result is displayed. You can see like adult, background, backdrop path, generic IDs, original language. There are so much of things is there, right? For example, title, right, we need to, so what all are the information we need title of the movie, right? So here you can see title of the movie name is in an object, that is Thor Love and Thunder. It is the title of the movie. Then what we need the voting. So where is the voting? Here you can see vote average 6.7. So Thor and Love and Thor, Love and Thunder for Thor, the movie rating is 6.7. So it's going to be displayed in orange. Okay, what the next information we need? The next information we need is image, right? So here you can find the image easily. Here you can see it has the poster path, right? But it doesn't contains the path, it only contains the final image. Okay, so that is what we're going to see. And what we need an overview. Here you can see overview. After the retirement is interrupted by the gore, the god of something like Virturia Galactics, it gives the information about the information. So we can able to access all the data. Now we can able to use access all the data. That is actually API do. Okay, I think now you can understand what the API do. So the API have all this information. Okay, actually the API have all this information, and that is stored in a JSON format. And by using the fetch API, by using this, we can able to parse it. That's it. Okay, so we can able to parse it. And for clear vision, you can use the result too. Results, something like this. Okay, and I save this. Here you can see it show only the result, it not show the objects and all, it show only the result. So around 20 movies is there. Okay, so totally 1920 length. The total movies 20 movies is there, and the 20 movies is going to be the page one, like first page, like this. If I change the page 2, okay, if I change the page 2, then what would happen? This first movie, you can see what is the first movie? Love and Thor, Love and Thunder, right? So now you can see the movie is changed. The movie is changed to Doc. Okay, so this page is indicating which page you need to access. So I just go with the first page. Okay, and you just go with the first page API. Okay, so it's going to be access it. Okay, so now we can able to fetch that. Now what I want to do, instead of showing it in the console, I need to show it in my browser. I need to manipulate this DOM, right? So that is what I need to do. So instead of showing in the console, I just going to create a function name of show movies. Okay, so movie is the method I just going to create, and I going to pass the data, the result data inside this. Okay, I just pass the result data inside this as a result. Instead of object, I just going to pass at a result, or results, results. Okay, fine, I pass there. Now what we need to do, we need to create an create a function that all the information need to show here. Okay, so for that I just going to create a function. Okay, for creating a function, what are the things first we need? So the first we need is, we need to display here, right? So for that I need to access the index.html. So inside this index.html, what I'm going to do, everything is in the main. So first I just going to delete everything inside the main. Okay, because I don't want now. So this is something, for example, I'm showing, right? So right now it is not, I don't want nothing. Okay, so I just delete this and I just refresh it. Okay, I just refresh it. Okay, so right now nothing is there. So I just going to code it, and whatever the information we are getting in the console, I just want to display here, and I want to code the HTML2. That is what I just going to do. Okay, so for that, what I going to do, I just going to say, first of all, I just going to fetch whatever the information I want. What are the information I want? I want this main, first of all. Okay, so I just going to say const main is equal to document dot get element by id, and I just going to say main. Okay, so now what we do, we just fetch this main. Okay, so inside this I'm going to append the div, and I going to code for all this. Okay, so that is what I just going to do, and main is done, and I just go and work for this. Okay, so now we go and work, and we show all the data inside this. How can we show that? We need to create a function with the show functions, right? So I just going to say, creating a function in the name of show movies, and a data is passed, right? A data is passed, and that is going to be the list of movies, right? So I just going to call this as a movies, and whatever the data that we are fetching, that is going to be an argument that is going to pass inside this movies. Okay, after that I just going to write. So inside this only, I just going to say display it in the DOM. Okay, I'm going to display it in the DOM variable. Okay, so that is what I just going to do. So for that, what I'm going to do, initially movie, sorry, not movie, main dot inner HTML is equal to, I just simply say like hello. You can see this hello will be displaying here. Here you can see the hello is displaying, right? So right now we don't want nothing inside this. Inside this only, we're going to add all the image, title, and overview, and the rating of the rating of the movies and all. Okay, so this is main dot inner HTML, and inside this I just going to pause it. So pausing it, you can see this data is in an it is in an object, right? So it is in an array object, right? Object, inside that it is in an array, right? So it is going to be in an array. So I just going to loop through it, and I going to iterate all the information, because I want to show all the movie list. So how can I do that? So for doing that, this is the parameter. I just go and copy and paste it dot, and we can say for looping through this we have for each, right? So we remove this. Okay, so what is the element I just going to pass? The element I just going to pass is movie. Okay, so the element I going to pass is movie. So that is the parameter. So it is going to be the first index initially, and what I going to do, I just going to destructure it. How can I destructure it? I just going to say destructuring method, and what are the information we need. For example, I just go and comment this. and I just go and click inspect, go for the console, missing destexturing, okay, fine. Okay, so just refresh it. Okay, so what all are the elements we need? If I just click one of them, and what we need title, right? So I just going to destructure const, we need title. Okay, we need title. And what is the other thing we need? We need the poster path. Okay, so the poster path is responsible for the what image. Okay, so we need the poster path, poster underscore path. Okay, we need it from the movie. Okay, we need it from the movie. Okay, now it will be displayed. And what is the other thing we need after the poster path? What is the thing we need? Poster path, poster path, and check the spelling, okay, whether it is correct or not. And we need the overview. Okay, we need the overview. And what is the next thing we need? We need video title, release date, vote average. Okay, so vote average is we need vote underscore average. So this is what actually we need, and we destructured. Okay, so now we have access for all this element and all this thing. Okay, so then now what I'm going to do, I just going to display it. Okay, so here you can notice a poster path is there. So what is this means? It indicates the image path. Okay, so it indicates the each and every image path. So if you want to use that image path, you need to add some functionality. Like if you go for the general documents, there is an image is there. Okay, so here you can see how to use the image, http.image.db. This is the actual one, and till here you need to use fixedly. After that, this is going to be changed. This is going to be changed according to the looping items we are looping through it. Okay, so before this, everything is going to be constant. Okay, so that is why I created a variable. You can see http.image.origin, and here I just say w 1280. So this is going to be the width of the element. Okay, so if you want 500 you can put, if you want 600 you can put. I going to put 1300. And after this only this particular element we are fetching poster.path, right? Poster.path. And this going to be add. If you add there means, then what happened, that image will be displayed here. Okay, let me see how to add this and how to show this. Okay, so for what I going to do, I just say const movie, creating an element, movie el equal to, I just going to say document dot create element. Okay, so create element is there. So what this going to be do, it's create element. So I want a div. Okay, what I going to do, in the inner html, the main dot id is there, right? So inside this I creating a div. Okay, inside this I just going to put all the title, image, everything. Okay, so that is what I going to put. Okay, so that is why I say right now nothing is here, so I need to create a div. I created a div. Okay, so inside this I just, sorry, I created a div. Okay, so right now I just created a div, and inside this I just going to add a class for this div. Okay, so for some default styling should be come. So how can we add a class? We can just call the movie el dot class list dot add. Okay, so this is what we previously seen in the last class also. So this is what it's going to do, it's give a class for this. Okay, if I say movie like this, like this. Okay, so movie class is added. Now I just go and click the inspect. Okay, so go for the body tag, and inside this you can see main is there. So inside the main, what I going to do right now, nothing is there. What I am creating means movie, I just going to create an div tag I created, and inside the div tag I added an attribute class, and that class is going to contain the movie. Okay, and I want to append it. Okay, so how can I do that means, like for example, for appending it, what I can say, main dot append child method. Okay, so here you need to mention which one you going to append. So which one I want to append? I want to append this movie el, right? So I just want to say movie el is the method I want to update. So I just go and say movie el. I append it. Now you can see, inside this main dot, inside this wait a minute. Oh, header is there, main.html is there. Okay, so what we did, we created an element, and that element is stored inside this, and we created a class list for this element, and that is going to be stored inside this where append main.element. Okay, we use the append child method and we stored it in the append main.element, and inside this we going to do all the thing. Okay, so what are the thing I just going to do, I just going to say movie dot el dot inner html equal to, I just say hello like this. Okay, I just click here. Okay, so main, just a minute, an id main is fetch, and inside this id we use the inner html is equal to nothing, right? So inner html is going to be empty one. Okay, yeah, inner html is going to be empty one, and we fetch. Okay, so inside this we do all the coding work, we add all this one. Okay, so how can I do this? After doing this, what I can do, i just go and call this. Okay, so I just put it in outside, that is why it's not showing. I just put inside this. Okay, append child, and now I just come here. You can see, inside this main, and div is created with the movie name. Okay, with the movie name, every movie is fetched and it is showing here, right? So around 20 movies created, but actually in the html it is not there. So how it is created? It is created based on the looping we are doing in the html. Based on the looping we are doing in the html. For example, if I say movie dot, sorry, not movie dot, movie el dot inner html equal to, so the title is actually we fetched, right? So I just going to say title. Okay, if I say the title means, you can see all the title of the movie is going to be displayed here. You can see Thor Love and Thunder is displayed, Jurassic World Domino is displayed, The Black Phone is displayed, Lightyear is displayed, all the movie is displayed, right? So this is how it works. So right now we don't want like this, we want to create an entire beautiful thing. Okay, how can I do that? How can I do that? Instead of telling title like this, what I just say, in the inner html I'm going to use the backticks. If I use the backticks, what I can do, I can able to put the html code inside this. So what is the html code I just going to create? I just going to, first of all I just going to create here. Okay, inside I just going to create here. For example, I just say div dot movie. Okay, we fetched, and inside this what we need an source, like an image tag is needed. So we need an image tag. Okay, so some image is going to be there, and this is going to be the title of this image. And after that, what we need the title of that movie, right? So after that we need the title of this movie. So for that, what I just going to say, div I just going to say dot movie info, movie underscore info. Okay, so I just created a class, and inside this and h3 I just going to create, and this inside this the title is going to be there, the title is going to be there, and around here, after here, the span element is going to be here, and inside the span element what is going to be here, a class is going to be here. Class, this is contain like something like green, something like this. Okay, this is going to be used for fetching the color of the element. So the class is going to be there. Okay, then what is going to be there, a number, something like 0 point rating of this is going to be there. And after that, what is going to be there, it's going to be another div with class of overview. Okay, it's going to be there, and inside this what is going to be there, and h3 is going to be there, and here it's going to say the overview. And after here, not h3, like h3 is going to be there, and below this some random text like overview of this is going to be there. I just refresh it, you can see here it is not working. What I going to do, I just going to copy this thing, entire thing, and I just cut it here. Okay, copy here, and I just going to put inside this. Okay, inside this, and now we can able to access this. How can we access this? For here you can see an images element is created. So inside this image element, what we need to add, we need to add the poster path that contains the image information from the document. So how can I add? I can going to use the template literal. like this, template literal. And inside this, what you can add, you can first, you need to add this default one, right? So I just going to say image path. Okay, so first I just, wait a minute, I just say image path. Okay, so I just, oops, what happened? Okay, I just going to copy this and I just going to paste it here. And after that, what we need, plus add, we need to add the poster path. Okay, so I just copy this and I just paste here. Okay, so now what happened, the image path and the poster path will add here, add into this URL. Okay, if I save here, you can see the image is added, and also you overview and everything is added, but you can see the default is only added. So the default is added. Okay, so now the image is added, and for alternative we say like for alternative like image of the movie. Okay, so then what is going to be, this is going to be the class, and this is going to be the title of the movie. Here you can see by default everything has a title, but I want the original title, so we fetch the original title of it, right? So how can we add this? Here you can add the template literal, like title, like this. So I add the template literal and I save this. Now you can see an image is added, and what is the title of the data that is added? Thor, Love and Thunder, Jurassic World, Domino, and the Rise of and Top Gun is added, Maverick, everything is added. Next, what we need? We need this rating, right? So we need this rating of the element, right? Just a minute. We need this rating 6.0, something like that. So where we get the rating? So the rating is come from the rating is come from the vote average, right? So I just going to put the vote average. This is the data. So vote average. Now you can get the actual rating. So for Thor Love and Thunder, it's going to be 6.7. Jurassic World, it's going to be 7.1 and 7.5 and 8.5 for Top Gun, and 8 for Black Phone. Everything is added correctly. Okay, so yeah, then what we need to change this color, right? So if it is greater than 8, if it is less than 5, if it is less than greater than 5, less than 8, like that we need to change the color. So for that, what I'm going to do, I just going to remove this and I just going to add a code before it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first we need this information, right? We need this vote average, and we need to write a logic for this. Okay, what I'm going to do, I just here I just going to write a function. Okay, so function, and I just say vote. The function is going to be vote vote rate. Okay, so vote rate is going to be the function of it. Okay, it is the name I just going to give, and I just going to say vote. Okay, this is the parameter I'm fetching, and what I just going to say, if vote is greater than or equal to 8, greater than or equal to 8, if the rating is greater than or equal to 8, then it's going to be a good movie and super hit movie. Then what it return, it should return green. Okay, it should return the green. I don't want to use WebGL. Okay, green. Okay, I just want to enter it in string green. Okay, so that's it. And next one is else if I'm just going to say else if what is the other condition means, if it is greater than, if it is less than 8 but it is greater than 5, so I just going to say vote, it is an average movie greater than or equal to 5, then what would happen, it just going to return orange. Then what would happen, else if it is not greater than 8 or less not greater than 8, not greater than 5, then it's going to return red, like this. Okay, so I just going to add this function inside this class list. Note it down, inside this class list. So how can I add this? I just use the template literal, and I can say like call the function, and inside this function pass this vote average. Okay, so then what happened, this vote average is passed to this function, and this is the number 7.5, 7.3 is the number, and it check with the condition and it going to return the value. If it returns green, then what happened here, this function returns green. Okay, so here it's going to return green. If that is going to return green, then it's going to show in the green color. If I save this, you can see nothing is changed. So some error is going to happen, some error has happened. Like how can I change this? I just say get class vote average, everything is added. Okay, okay, let's check whether the vote average is added. Yeah, vote average is added, and we call the function called vote rate, right? So we also call the functions called vote rate. Yeah, vote rate. Just go and check the css how it is working. Okay, it's going to be red, orange and green. Okay, it's going to be red, orange and green. And here go for the js. Okay, so it's going to be return, if I say called vote rate is the function vote rate, and vote average is passing as an argument, and if it is checked with this, and it's going to be return the average of the class, right? Okay, so before that what we do, we just remove this, and here we call the overview of it, and then we move on to the other. And what I'm going to do, I just go and call the overview of it. So for overview, we have this overview data. I just go and put inside this. I save this. Doctor's change with the help and something overview is showing, right? Some help. Yeah, it is showing a little bit dull. I just go for the overview, and I just going to say like opacity, transition, color, background. It's going to be a color one, and h3 overview h3. Where is the h3 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 h3? Overview is there, overview is there. Okay, if I refresh it, it gives a overview of fanboy, something like this. Okay, fine. Okay, so inside this we need to add this, and we add it in here like simply like this. And what we can do, we can add class like overview. Color is going to be black. Okay, right now the overview is working perfectly, so the css part is working perfectly. So the only thing is, this you can notice this, it is not showing in red color, green color and orange. So that is the only thing from our side. So how can I do that? Let's check where we give the function movie info span dot red, right? So movie info, in the span we need to code. So where is the movie info? Movie info here, movie info successfully fetched, and span is successfully here, and inside this class only we are adding this all the element, right? So vote average is sent, and for example if I remove this, and if I give hardcodely like green, let's check whether it is working or not. Okay, everything is in green, it is working perfectly. So only there is an error in the function. So I just copy this function, and I just going to paste it in a template literal, something like this. Okay, so I just going to paste it in a template literal, and I just going to call this function, and inside this what I want to pass, I want to pass the vote average. Okay, so now I just save this. Yeah, actually it is working. For green it is working, right? So for green it is working. Only for red, only for I think I made a mistake here. You can see orange, o or a n g e. Okay, so mistake is here. Now you can see it is orange colored, and it is green colored, and it is where here after the movies that has rated 8, it is green color, and it is less than 8, it is like orange color, and which has less than 5, that is going to have a red color. So till now we don't have any red color movies. Okay, so no worst movies here. Okay, so we have created a beautiful movie app, and we have created by using this API. Okay, we have successfully created. So now what we need, if I if I search something, then what would happen? It should be displayed, and that is also in the document. If you go here, you can see search query is there, and you can see here it will give the document. First, you are going to issue an query for the movie. For example, it's saying you need to issue the query or movie or TV show, anything like that. Then it should be in the pattern of this http://ap.movie.3 search movie, and you need to give the API key, and after that what you need, queries, and query is added. And here you can see this is the search query. Okay, if you ask for Jurassic Park, it's going to produce a Jurassic. If you ask for something else, it's going to produce for something that. Okay, so that is why, so it's going to produce the result of that. Okay, for example, if you copy and paste it, it's going to be produce this result. Okay, so how can I do that? So here you can see in the search API, I put all the thing like http://api3. Everything is put, and only thing is I am not putting is I put my API key and all. Only thing is not I put is I need to put a plus, and here what I need to add, I need to add which movie I want. So where we can get that, we can search. For example, I am searching for Thor or anything like that. If I searching for Thor, this should come and paste it here. Okay, then the movie will be displayed. How can I do that? So that is the last one. Okay, so for that I just going to create a function. So for that, what you need two things to fetch. First, you need to fetch the form element, form equal to document dot get element by id. You need to fetch this form. You need to fetch this form. Okay, you need to fetch this form, and I just going to test it here. And the next thing what you need to do, you need to fetch the search one. Which one? This search one. Okay, because form is responsible for the submitting event, and this is going to be the search one. Okay, so I just going to search. How can we get that search one? We can get the search one by using the input, fetching this input. Okay, here you can see it has the ID of search. Okay, I just copy this, and what you can do right now, I don't want this, and here I just say document dot get element by id, and here you can mention this search. Okay, so right now we fetching this input element, but I need the id of it. How can I have value of it? How can I fetch that? We can fetch that by using put dot value. Okay, so first I going to give a event listener for this form. If the form is submitted, then something would happen. So how can I do that? We can add a form, add event listener. I just say form dot add event listener, and if the form is submitted, okay, if the form is submitted and you need to run a particular function, and I just going to say a particular event, and here I just say first e dot prevent default. What does this prevent default method do? The prevent default method prevents from the page to reload. Here you can see every time I press enter, before it get reloaded, right? So right now I use the prevent default method. Then what happen if I press enter, it is not get reloaded. So that is why I say I use the prevent reload. Okay, so after that, what I just going to say, const, we need the value, right? We need the value. What is the value I'm entering here? We need this, we need it, right? So that is what we're going to do. We need the value. So I just say const search value. Const search value is equal to, and what is the input element we fetched here? Search is the input element we fetched. I just go in the top and I just put it here, and we put dot value. Okay, like this. Okay, so we fetched the value of the element. So right now what we have, what is the value we are putting here, we can able to fetch that. How can I confirm? I say console.log, we can call for the search value. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do, I just go and click the inspect element, go for the console, and I just going to here, I just going to say like hello is the search element. Here you can see the hello is fetched, right? So right now what I want to do, I need to add this variable. I need to add this, and you can notice that this is still here. I don't want, after submitting the form, it need to disappear. Okay, so for that I need to do something. Before that, what I need to do, if this should be what is I'm searching, that should go and add with the search API link. Okay, so that is what I want to add. So for that, before that I just going to add a condition for it. If I say if the search value is exist and the search value is not equal to 0, not equal to empty, not equal to empty, then you should, what you need to do, if it is not equal to empty and if it is exist, then what you need to do, you need to add the search API with the search value. Okay, so how can I do that? How can I do that? You can simply say get movies. So get movies is the function that is used to get the movie of that, right? So it is going to use the get the movie of it, and I need to give the search value for that. So here inside this, what I'm going to do, I just going to give the search, not search API, right? CA or CH, search API plus the value. So the value is search value plus the search value. Okay, so just display that only. So that is what I'm going to say. And after showing this, after running this function, what you need to do, you need to erase here whatever I entered here, you need to erase that. So how can I set that? You can say search value by default is equal to empty. Okay, after that you need to empty that. Okay, else if it is not there, if it is not there, then what you need to do, you need to refresh the window dot location dot reload that. Okay, reload that particular page. Okay, what it's going to do, if it is not exist, if I just simply like this means, if I just, for example, if I go here, instead of searching nothing, I just put click, what would happen, it just reload it. Or instead of that, what I going to say, I just go and search for this Thor. I just say T and I search this, and here you can see Thor, like this. You can see all the movies that related to Thor is fetched. Okay, so Thor Love and Thunder, Thor Ragnarok, Thor Dark World, Thor, everything is Thor. Okay, so everything is fetched. And what is your favorite movie? For example, I can say like some pan India movies, anything like that. I'm not coming here, well, I just going to say Marvel or Dark Knight, something like this. You can see all the Marvel is fetching, all the Marvel movie list is fetched, right? Yeah, Dolphin King is done that. Orange, I made a mistake, orange, right? It is a spelling mistake. Okay, so we have done that, right? So what the here we just completed the movies and all. So what are the logic we have done? So the first logic is we need to fetch all the data, right? So for that, what we created a get movie function. You can see get movie function is created. Okay, so this is responsible for getting that all the data, and I need to show it in my DOM. So for that, what I do, I just created another function show movie. So I passed all the get fetched data into that show movie. Here you can see, and inside the show movie, what I did, I create an element and I append that element with the already existed HTML, and I just done all the code. And you can, whatever you want, you can fetch. Right now I only want the image, and I want the name of, and I want the overview and the rating of the element. If you want much more, you can fetch that, no problem in that. Okay, so there are more n number of data is there, right? So if you want like rating and casting is there, if you want to show that, you can show that, you can use it. Okay, so everything's an API, and that is what I did. And after that, I written a logic for this changing colors, like some condition to changing colors, like written green, orange, red. It is used for this changing color. And after that, what I written first the search value. Okay, so if you search for something, then after submitting this, okay, it is not changed. Okay, so you can see it is still exist, right? So the only thing you need to notice, if you store the value into an variable, and if you give empty value, it will not work. Okay, instead of this, give this. Okay, instead of giving a variable, give this. Okay, so now it will be work. After searching the Marvel, here you can see I say spider. After entering it, you can see it is will be displayed. Okay, so instead of giving an variable, use the actual value. So for only for this value. Okay, so I think this is some of the debug that we need to focus on the future. Okay, I think we have done with that. Yeah, we have completed the projects. okay, of how to create a movie app. This is very good project, and you can add this to your portfolio too. You can see how neat is this. Okay, if you are well in HTML and CSS, it's going to be an add an extra value for this. You can add whatever the CSS you want. For example, I just go and add, and I just, if you have any doubt, just comment right now. Okay, because I'm going to wind up the section with 2 minutes. Okay, I just going to wind up the section within 2 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I just going to give a box shadow for this. How can I give? So this is something contain movie, that movies, right? So what I'm going to do, movie, here I just going to add box shadow, and here I just going to say like something like 0 0, and blur is going to be 8 pixel, and here I just going to be give like something like blue, something like this. And if I, here you can see how look it, how is good, how good it is, right? It is very good, right? So you can use this. Okay, you can use this, and you can you can work on it. Okay, so this is how you need to work it. Okay, so HTML CSS you need to take care. JavaScript project we will be done. Okay, so this is our third project, and tomorrow we're going to create some other additional projects for our portfolio. Okay, so I think no doubts is here, right? So if you want a certificate, then what you need to do, you need to fill the form. There is a form in the description. Give a subscribe and give a like for this video if you really enjoy this video, and open the form. And if you completed 2 projects, then what you need to do, you need to fill that form and give a GitHub link. After checking that, we will produce and certificate for you through your mail. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much. We see you in the next section. Why search value is not double equal to, not equal to? Wait just a minute. Why Dolphin King is asking me a question? Oh, why you are asking me why it is not equal to, instead of why are you using not double equal to, right? Right, that is the question you are asking. Why you are not using not equal to, instead why you are using not double equal to, right? So the answer is simple, like I want to validate a strict validation, that's it. Okay, if you are using double equal, single equal to, this is also going to validate, but it is going to validate only the, it is going to validate in loose. It just going to take care of, like for example, it only consider the value of it only. If I use the double equal to, then it takes care of the value and the data type also. Okay, it is called a strict validation. And if you use a single equal to, then it's going to be a loose validation. So wherever you are working with, if you are working with some of the APIs, mostly we use strict validation. Okay, we need both the things to be correct. Okay, so that is like by experience you can get, right? By experience automatically it comes if you use the double equal to, triple equal to, instead of using double equal to. The same example, for example, you use, normally you use double equal to and triple equal to. So what is the difference between double equal to and triple equal to? Double equal to is for loose validation, and triple is equal to is for strict validation. The same is going for not equal to. So not single equal to is for loose validation, not double equal to is for strict validation. So if you want to validate something strict, whether you want to consider the value and data type, then you can use the double equal to. So here if you use the single equal to, here it will produce the answer as, it will produce the same answer also. Okay, but in some cases, if you want to validate the value and also the data type, then you need to use the double equal to. So mostly by automatically we use the double equal to, by like, you know, something we come with a flow, right? So that is why we use the double equal to. Okay, that is very simple. Okay, so the same, like same difference between double equal to and triple equal to, that is going to be happening not equal to and not double equal to. Okay, that's it. And fill the form to get a certificate, guys. And okay, fine, I just going to, okay, thank you. So thank you Dolphin King. I don't know what's your name and all, but I know your YouTube channel is Dolphin King. Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, just 1 minute, we're just going to bind the section. Thank you so much. If you have any doubts and work into the project, if you have any doubts, come for tomorrow. You can ask the doubts in tomorrow section and we can clear it, because tomorrow is going to be a very easy project. We can complete it like slider animation. That is what we're going to do. We just do that. Okay, so see you guys in the next class. Okay, Abdul Malik, right? I got your name. Okay, so next time I call you Abdul Malik. Thank you so much.